Dealing with tantrums and fights can be exhausting, but what do you do when a child's behavior crosses the line from difficult to truly sinister?
You were gonna kill Seath Jackson.
The plan came together in about 2 minutes.
Let's explore 3 chilling cases of child killers, starting with Amber Wright, who made a deadly choice to eliminate her ex-boyfriend for good. At just 15, she confessed to the brutal murder of Seath Jackson on April 17, 2011. Initially perceived as a victim of manipulation, the truth reveals a far darker side, showcasing that this seemingly innocent teenager was capable of pure evil.
Are you out of your mind, girl? You're just sitting here telling me you just planned a murder.
Amber, also 15, and Seath had recently begun dating, quickly intensifying their relationship despite living in different towns. However, according to Seath's parents, Amber exhibited manipulative behavior, and their romance soon became extremely toxic. Tensions escalated when Seath accused Amber of cheating with an older boy, although it's unclear if she actually had an affair with 18-year-old Michael Bargo. Regardless, Seath's fury erupted, leading him to publicly denounce Michael on Facebook. Following their breakup, Amber and Seath remained in contact for a few months, but their conversations turned increasingly hostile. One night, Michael suggested to Amber that they eliminate Seath from her life for good. The pair devised a plan to murder Seath, enlisting Amber's 16-year-old brother Kyle and friends Charlie, Eli 18, and Justin 20, who should have known better. Their reckless decision would set off a tragic chain of events that would forever alter their lives and those around them.
Okay, I just need you to tell me the story, and let's start with the other night.
Well, me and him were already talking on the phone.
Me and him.
Seth.
Okay, you and Seth. Did Seth call you, or did you call Seth?
Well, he had called me a couple days before that and I didn't answer.
Okay.
So I called him that night.
And you and Seth, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? You two had a relationship.
Because he'd always fight, he'd always hit me, and he'd always
So he was physically abusive to you?
15.
Who all knew that?
Me, Charlie, my brother.
Okay, so Kyle knew about it. Did Mike know about it?
Possibly.
Was there a lot of people in the neighborhood just that ran around with you guys that knew this?
Yeah.
This was a blatant deception. Amber had falsely claimed that Seath was abusive, merely to portray herself as the victim. When Seath received a text from Amber asking to meet and resolve their issues, he eagerly accepted, unaware that she intended to exploit his willingness to reconcile for her own sinister agenda.
He called you a few days before. You called him back, and what day was that? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it was Sunday night.
Sunday night?
It was the night that this all happened.
Okay, so you called Seth, and what did Seth say?
Well, it started off, I was like, hey, I know you called me the other day and I didn't answer, but you wanted to make up. So do you want to make up or like try and be friends or something because I'm sorry for everything? And he was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea for the both of us because we're both tired of fighting with each other. But we just wanted to stop the drama because we were friends before we were dating.
Okay.
We were really close.
Okay, so you guys went down there and talked?
We were talking for maybe like not even 30 minutes.
Okay.
And his mom, I guess, texted him and I was like, who are you texting? I thought we were talking. And he was like, my mom told me either right now or never. Look, I'm not in the mood to talk right now. I'm getting out of here for now. I'll see you around. And he walks off.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I guess. So Charlie's like, well, do you want to just walk back down to the house? And I was like, yeah, I guess. So when we got back down to her house, we were watching TV. And then like an hour later, Seth comes knocking on the door. Charlie answered it and was like, what do you want? And he was like, can I just talk to Amber so we can figure things out?
However, that's far from what really happened. Amber fabricated an intricate story in a desperate attempt to escape responsibility for the murder.
And Kyle's in the living room. What's Kyle doing?
Kyle just sits there and watches TV like he always does.
Okay, so he's just watching TV in the living room. Mike's in the bedroom. Okay, and then what happens? Seth comes to the house?
Seth knocked on the door and Charlie answered it, and she was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I just need to talk to Amber. Can I come in? She let him in. He sits in the chair. Me and her sitting by each other on the couch, and out of nowhere, Kyle just gets up and hits him.
Where was Kyle sitting when Seth came in the house?
There's a couch, like the kitchen is whenever you first walk in the house,
Okay.
and then it's the living room. The couch was up against this wall,
Okay.
and then here's another couch, and then the chair was right here, so the couch and the chair is here.
Uh-huh.
Seth was here, and Kyle was like on this end. Kyle just got up out of nowhere.
What did he say? Did he say anything to Seth?
No, like I didn't know that if he, like I didn't think anything was gonna happen. I mean, because I never knew Kyle would just get out of nowhere and hit somebody like that.
What did Kyle hit him with?
I don't know what he grabbed.
Do you know where he grabbed it from?
It was on the floor.
Okay.
And like as soon as he got up and like he went towards Seth and hit him, I looked at Charlie. I was like, run. We ran to her room, went in her bathroom and shut the door.
Okay.
And then we heard a door flew open, and then we just
Did you hear Kyle say anything to Seth?
Kyle just said, "Now get the F out of my house."
Okay.
That's
So there was no argument before that?
no,
Nothing like that?
no. It was just got up.
Right now?
He hit him like one time that I know of, and then he walked away and said, "Get the F out of my house."
What did Seth do after Kyle hit him?
He got up, and me and Charlie took off to her room and locked her. Like she didn't lock her bathroom, but we slammed the door.
What, did you just stand up from the chair? Did you stand up and walk out the door? Or?
He just jumped up,
Okay.
and by then me and Charlie took off to her room. We shut the bathroom door, and we heard another door just fly open, and we just heard gunshot after gunshot after gunshot.
When Seath arrived at the agreed location, he quickly realized he was in grave danger. Ambushed and outnumbered, he was struck in the head and then shot. Despite his injuries, Seath managed to break free and desperately ran for his life. He nearly reached the road, but was viciously gunned down and dragged back into the house. Michael Bargo fired every single shot, sealing Seath's tragic fate.
5 or 6 times of hearing it got quiet. And then you hear Kyle go, "What did you just do?" And then Mike went in the room and was like, "If you say one word of what I did, I will have 2 more bodies to
Went
get
into
rid of."
what room with you and Charlie?
He just walks in the room and was like, "If you say anything or even come out of this room, there's just going to be 2 extra bodies to get rid of." So me and Charlie were pretty much stuck in her room the whole time.
Okay. Did you hear Michael say anything to Seth?
No, because whenever I was out there, he didn't.
Michael wasn't out there when you were
No.
out there.
He was just in his room, and whenever me and Charlie...
How long was it before, when you ran from the living room after Kyle hit Seth and you ran into them, how long was it before you heard shots?
Not even a minute.
They placed Seath's body in the bathtub, but their brutality didn't stop there. To fit him into a sleeping bag, they broke his knees with a hammer. As if things couldn't get worse, they discovered Seath was still alive. Michael shot him again before they threw his body into a fire to cover up the crime, meticulously cleaning the scene in a final attempt to erase any evidence.
Okay.
And we just laid there, and we were just talking about how scared we were. She was like, "Should I go out there?" And I was like, "Don't, because what if Mike does actually do something to you?"
Okay. So when did you guys finally come out of the room?
The next morning,
Okay, about what time?
we didn't wake up till maybe 11, 12 o'clock.
Okay. And what did you do when you came out?
We just looked around, and there was nothing around.
What, was anything different?
Oh, it just smelled like pure bleach in the house. That's it.
Do you know where the bleach came from?
No.
You spend a lot of time at Charlie's house?
Yeah, like, I stayed the night there because my brother was there.
Sure. Have you ever seen bleach around there before?
I mean, because I've cleaned the kitchen,
No.
I've rearranged the room, but I've never seen it.
No, not on top of the refrigerator. There wasn't any bleach on top of the
The only
refrigerator.
thing, the cereal's on top of the refrigerator, and then there's like always dishes everywhere and just food. There's never any bleach or cleaning supplies but soap in the house.
Okay. So that night you didn't know, you had no idea there was any bleach in the house. As far as you were concerned, there hasn't been any in the house. Did you hear anybody leave the house? Anybody have a vehicle?
No one there has a vehicle. Everybody walks everywhere they go.
So it would be unusual to have a couple gallons of bleach at that house.
Yeah.
I have a problem in trying to find out where the bleach came from.
I'm almost thinking, I wonder if Mike went down to his grandmother's.
Well, Mike did go to his grandma's that day.
His grandmother only lives a few blocks from us.
Okay. But that night, when you came, so that would, the bleach had to come from somewhere, but it was at night the bleach had to come because when you guys got up in the morning at 11 or so, you smelled bleach.
Yeah, like but after the thing happened that night, when we woke up, we walked out, and my mom would look around the room to see if we see anything or see.
Did you see any blood?
No, everything was normal. The only thing different was the kitchen and living room was like a very strong smell of bleach.
Okay.
Like they tried to clean something up.
Okay. Who do you mean when you say they?
Like Mike.
Okay.
I don't know if.
Do you know if anybody else was there?
No, it was just.
Did you
us
hear
four.
anybody else come? Did you hear anybody leave? Did you hear a vehicle?
I've heard the door open and close several times, and that's it.
The door of the house?
Yeah, the front door.
Okay. Are you familiar with any paint buckets there? Or was there paint buckets?
Yeah, she had paint buckets from painting her house.
Okay. How big were they?
And they're this tall.
Okay, so they're kind of 5-gallon buckets?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were they at?
they were in the kitchen full of paint.
Okay, so they were inside of the house full of
Yeah.
paint. Okay, so
Because
she
I
was.
know every time I'd sweep up the floor, I had to move the bucket so I can get around.
Were they there in the morning?
Mhm.
Do you know where they went?
Mhm. There was pretty much nothing left in the kitchen but the dishes and the food. Like everything that was on the floor was gone.
Those missing paint buckets had been used to store Seath's ashes before being discarded. Amber was fully aware of this, likely believing she had gotten away with murder. However, what she didn't realize was that her brother Kyle had already confessed everything in the next room, and it was all caught on camera.
I'm sorry, buddy. Do you mind if I talk to her again? Okay, I'm gonna bring Kyle in here with you, okay? Okay. So it's this right here, and right now Amber is where the rubber hits the road.
Take note of how Amber had been moved to a smaller room, with the comfortable couch swapped for a hard chair. The detective's body language was a clear signal this time. Things were serious, and the stakes had drastically changed. Amber was no longer just being questioned now.
Okay. Your brother told me everything. So you can sit there and you can continue to lie on me, walk out and treat you like a piece of garbage. Or you can sit here and treat me with the respect that I treated you with. Okay? And you can tell me the truth.
Yes.
What's your choice going to be? Okay. Speak up so I can hear you too. Okay? So let's start at the beginning again. And you tell me this story. And the first time that I think you're lying, I'm getting up and walking out of here and I don't care what happens to you.
Yes,
Do you understand me?
Get him and the door fly open. And I get and Kyle said everything and I flew against the counter and I looked.
Roach hit him with a stick too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Don't leave nothing out, because I'm telling you, I'm like going towards the door now.
Kyle hit him first.
Kyle hit him first? How many times did Kyle hit him?
As of right now, he only hit him once or twice because I didn't look at it. I was in the kitchen. And Charlie was like, come through. I walked in the room with her. I was so shook up. I'm staring at her. I'm crying. She's trying to hold me to stop crying. I'm about to puke from it all. And then they got him in the house and laid him on the floor. And Mike shot him again.
On the floor? Was he saying anything at that time? What was Seth saying?
He wasn't talking.
Was he breathing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't really see him once he got out the door. And they dragged him in. And I went to the room because I didn't want to see it. And all I heard in the room was more gunshots going off in the room. And then Kyle, Roach, and Mike took him to the bathroom and I heard one more gunshot. And then all I hear is Mike yelling at him. Just start cursing.
Where's Seth's body now?
They wouldn't let me see it. They told me, Mike told me that me and Kyle, that he was going to take it to the quarry in Lakeland.
In Lakeland?
Not Lakeland, and get him out.
Michael Bargo was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death, making him the youngest inmate on death row in Florida. Amber and the other 3 accomplices were also found guilty of first-degree murder and received life sentences. However, Charlie Ely was later released after accepting a reduced charge of second-degree murder in 2020, escaping the life sentence that her co-conspirators faced.